We have made it to day number 3, Wednesday, 2A quarterfinal for the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament 2025, presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network stream. We're going to be busy on the stream today. Many are at home, but we are nestled inside Wells Fargo Arena. We got a little blizzard outside, but hey, how about some good hot basketball to melt things up today? Along with the Andy Pollack, I'm Paul Yeager. Glad to have you here courtside today as we get you ready for only 6 games today. But Andy, we got some dandies ahead. We'll start early here with Iowa City Regina and Maquoketa Valley. What stands out to you in this one?
Well, this is going to be a game of tempos. We're going to find out Iowa City Regina, they love to push the tempo, get up and down the floor. And it's not that Maquoketa Valley wants to play slow, but they're going to want to play this slow and turn it into more of a half-court game. So it'll be a battle of tempos in this one. And who can adapt to what we've got going on outside?
Both of these teams have been here before, but it's just been a little bit longer for Maquoketa Valley. They played in the 2021 state championship game against Ike New Hartford, but Regina, they have been here a little more recently. Both of these teams came in last night. They've stayed just a couple of doors away in either direction. They are ready to go, and here's how they got here before the storm. For Maquoketa Valley, they're 23-2. They knocked out Denver in the regional final. Pretty good defensive team here, Andy, only allowing 32 points a game.
And that's going to be a big key today is just continue. They take a lot of pride in what they do defensively. And like I said, try to turn it into a half-court game, keep Regina from getting out and running and scoring in transition.
And then you got the dozen sisters of Ronenbaum and Burbage, both averaging 12 points a game for the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats. For the Regals, they're 23-1. They beat Danville to get here. High offense, best in 2A, 70 points a contest. They're even better from the field shooting.
Well, and their one loss is a pretty good one. It's against Mount Vernon, who we watched play 2 days ago. One of the top teams, maybe not just in 3A, but in the entire state. They lost to them early on to start the year, but something's going to have to break today. You look at almost 70 points per game that they score compared to the 32 points per game that Maquoketa Valley gives up. Somewhere in there, something's going to have to give.
Morgan Miller averages 20 points a game. Addie McLaughlin with 17. Her sister Ella on the team averages 10. You got a lot of experience in this contest as both teams had just a little bit of extra time to get onto the floor. Maquoketa Valley has just exited. Regina's still on the court. We're going to stay here. We'll come back in a moment, and we'll have your channel seeds. Seeds for success. It's Maquoketa Valley and Iowa City Regina coming your way on the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Maquoketa Valley and Iowa City Regina, both from eastern Iowa, which, if you look at the weather map, not quite as impacted as we were here in Polk County. Both Andy and I drove in this morning. There were other people that had hotels that were close, including Maquoketa Valley. They were brought in a couple of vans to get here, and Regina just had to come up the hill from the Embassy Suites. They were both planning to be here before the storm, and they've been here before. So, Andy, let's look at Maquoketa Valley here as we get into our channel seeds. Seeds for success.
Well, first of all, I think that I don't have it in the seeds for success, but just handling the atmosphere today of what's going to be more of a club-type atmosphere, watching in front of your parents. We've got a blizzard, the only blizzard of the year going on outside. It's going to be an adjustment for a couple teams that are used to playing in smaller gyms in front of really good crowds. But Maquoketa Valley, the big key today is win in the paint. They've got a little bit of a height advantage. They can turn this into a half-court game, win on the inside, get some of those offensive rebounds, have a chance to score some points the easy way there. And then Regina, they want to push the tempo, get out and run. They're at their best when they can score in transition, and then when you combine that both, tempo today. Tempo is going to be the big difference in what leads to who can win this ball game.
This is the easy question for me, Andy, but in a game where you have incredible good defense and incredible good offense in a state and tournament environment, what wins out?
Well, the defense 8 days a week in that situation, and that's why I think for Regina, getting out and getting those easy buckets in transition is going to be an easy way to get the lead and maybe shake off some of those first game nerves. No one slept in their own beds last night. It's just different being here today. And I know as a coach, a lot of times you're thinking of all the things that could go wrong, and you want to have things as consistent as possible leading up to games, especially in the postseason. That's thrown out the window today because no one is doing things the way that they've normally been able to do it.
It's all about adversity and adjusting to it, and in this environment, there's no stage bigger than that. And there's a look at Regina as they go through. Head coach Mary Rogers, she's got her squad ready to go. We're going to meet her team and Scott Monk's team from Maquoketa Valley when we come back on the starting lineups of the national anthem. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network 2A quarterfinal coming your way next.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, a fifth-generation farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau.
And I'm Erin Gerlich, executive director of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. We're excited to have you join us for the Girls State Basketball Tournament.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to be the title sponsor of this amazing event. Iowa's farmers work endlessly to grow and raise nutritious food and sustain our local communities. Similarly, Iowa's student athletes dedicate countless hours to train and excel in their sport. Partnering with the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union allows us to celebrate farmers and student athletes while supporting and empowering the Iowa girl.
Reaching the state tournament is a tremendous achievement, and it requires strong support. Thanks to the Iowa Farm Bureau, we can celebrate and honor students for their accomplishments on the basketball court and in the classroom. The Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to your success, assisting our organization in providing awards, grants and scholarships, as well as concussion insurance and these wonderful championship hats. These contributions not only protect student athletes' health, but also highlight outstanding performance in both athletics and academics.
As Iowans, we have so much to be proud of, and every single one of us plays a role in making our state great. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau
and the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union,
congratulations on an outstanding season and best of luck in the tournament.
Good morning, basketball fans. Welcome. We are so glad you're here. It's Wednesday, day 3 of the 2025 Girls State Basketball Quarterfinal matchup today, featuring the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats and from Iowa City, the Regina Regals. Fans, tradition is an important part of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union's storied history. Because our past is an integral part of what we do today, we ask that everyone in attendance please join in a round of applause to show our appreciation to all the women who have participated in high school athletics in Iowa. Once an Iowa girl, always an Iowa girl. Fans, now at this time, the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and the Iowa Farm Bureau would like to recognize the outstanding sportsmanship shown by Maquoketa Valley High School and Regina High School. In recognition of the importance of good sportsmanship, each state qualifying school was asked to nominate a spectator who represents their school and community in a sportsmanlike manner. Madison Melchert, Assistant Director of the IGHSAU, will present each nominee with a certificate of recognition and a $250 check payable to their school scholarship fund. Please join us in honoring these individuals whose decorum and respect for others serves as a model for all spectators attending interscholastic events. From Maquoketa Valley High School, Pat Sabers. And from Regina High School, Dave Martin.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union and student athletes participating in this event, thank you for your tremendous support.
The show respect the student athletes, the coaches, and the officials of this contest. Act with dignity, speak with courtesy, and play with pride.
Thank you for your attendance and enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game.
And enjoy the game. And enjoy the game.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union promotes good sportsmanship by everyone in attendance here today. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants, officials, and spectators in a positive manner. Profanity, racial, sexist, or abusive comments, or intimidating actions directed at officials, participants, coaches, team representatives, or event personnel will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal. We thank you for your cooperation, and as the ladies in the video said, enjoy the game. Fans, it's now time to introduce the players in today's 2A quarterfinal matchup. First, here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Wildcats of Maquoketa Valley. Number 3, Taryn Burbridge. Number 4, McKenna Meinert. Number 5, Madison Thompson. Number 11, Kelsey Heiger. Number 12, Allison Schulte. Number 20, Lexi Halverson. Number 24, Leah Riker. Number 25, Morgan Hager. Number 33, Aubrey Altoff. And 45, Macy Nolan. Your assistant coaches, Allie Sherman, Brad Huber, and Jesse Wooten. Now here are your non-starters and assistant coaches for the Regina Regals. Number 2, Nora Wade. Number 4, Ella Cuny. Number 15, Anna Trenkamp. Number 20, Maddie Squires. Number 22, Mel Kirk. Number 23, Maggie Supel. And number 25, Sophie Wilchin. Your assistant coaches, Jordan Christofferson and Andrew Meister. And now, here are your starters for this 2A quarterfinal. From Maquoketa Valley at guard, a 5'6" junior, number 2, Lainey Beeman. For Regina Catholic at guard, a 5'6" senior, number 1, Morgan Miller. For the Wildcats at guard, a 5'8" freshman, number 10, Audra Burbridge. For the Regals at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 10, Caitlin Martin. At guard for Maquoketa Valley, a 5'9" senior, number 15, Bianca Runnebaum. At guard for Regina Catholic, a 5'7" senior, number 12, Ella McLaughlin. For the Wildcats at guard, a 5'4" senior, number 21, Jada Knipper. At guard for the Regals, a 5'5" freshman, number 24, Addie McLaughlin. And at forward for Maquoketa Valley, 5'8" junior, number 44, Grace Richter. For Regina Catholic at center, a 6' sophomore, number 35, Adelie Klein. Head coach for the Wildcats is Scott Monk. And for the Regals, Mary Rogers. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you now our officials for this 2A quarterfinal as assigned by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Your referee, Brent Behrens. Umpire, Nate Saar. Umpire, Rob Ratchford. And your bench official, Dylan Riley. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you'd please stand. At this time, we ask you to please join us, direct your attention to the flag as we honor our many veterans who have served proudly, those who currently serve protecting our freedom all over the world and our great country of America, as our national anthem today is performed by a senior from Ackley, Geneva, Wellsburg, Steamboat Rock High School, Miss Claire Diamond, under the direction of Kim Medic. Ladies and gentlemen, our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Claire Diamond, ladies and gentlemen. Nice job, Claire. Thank you. All right. Who's ready for state tournament basketball?
Blizzard on the outside. Good, hot, warm basketball courtside. Put another log on the fire, have another hot drink to keep you warm. Today we are ready to go. Andy Pollack, Paul Yeager here on Wednesday, day number 3. 6 games to go, Class 2A and 1A. The fans that made it, they are the dedicated, they are the diehard, and just a little bit supportive of their teams. There's Scott Monk and the Maquoketa Valley Wildcats. They'll be in all black with gold numbers. Beeman, Burrich, Rotobaum, Knipper, and Richter for the Wildcats. And for the Regals, Miller, Martin, McLaughlin, and Klein, and they're white with maroon with blue trimmed in gold. Regina and Regals on the shorts. We're ready to tip it up. Brett Behrens will throw it up. There's the look from up above, and we are ready to go. Class 2A quarterfinal is underway, and the Regals take it. They'll go left to right. Regals in the white jerseys. Early on, it's Miller. Dribbles around to the top side of the key. Looks to penetrate a little bit. Now for a cutting McLaughlin. Now another drive and kick. Three-pointer on the way. Rattles around, no good. Rebound put back up off the glass, no good. And a grabbed board by Audra Burbage. And it's thrown right into Regina. That's where Klein was. Up ahead and out of bounds. A little out of control was McLaughlin, the freshman. And it's a turnover.
Fast tempo here for Regina to get started. Actually, Maquoketa Valley not wasting any time either, getting down and trying to get a shot up as you see Maquoketa Valley really trying to deny a lot of different passes down low, and it's changing up some angles, gave them a couple good looks for Regina.
Ronabaum, now the shot no good, tipped away into Regina. Then we got a little bit of contact there midcourt, collected. And now Regina has it. No, attacking. McLaughlin, the floater, no good. Tipped around and grabbed by Ronabaum. Couple of boards to start early. Here comes the tempo and a major collision right in front of us.
Yeah,
wow.
You got to give her one step as she comes down, so they're going to get a foul there on Morgan Miller as she was, going up initially, I think, to try to get that steal, but you have to give a step to the offensive player as they come down. And first foul of the night.
As you
I should say the day.
You see this replay, and that is that's a corner hit coming in on a receiver right there.
Unfortunately, seen a couple of those throughout the course of the year this year.
Inbound pass done to the Wildcats. That's Knipper. Now back to Burbage, who was just in that last contact. She runs to the rack, and she is fouled in the act of shooting, which means she gets a pair of free throws.
Well, I really like there what Burbage is doing because she recognizes one-on-one, no help defender able to come in, no rim protector there, and just takes it right at the defender. Opportunity for the Wildcats to draw first blood.
Lid still on the rim. Free throw off the mark by Burbage. Normally a 68% free throw shooter, the freshman in the lineup for Coach Monk. Free throw is good, and a substitution already into the ball game for the Wildcats is Alexis Halverson.
Quick.
Yeah,
very
an
quick
IMT
sub.
Insurance. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtins.com. Dribbling right through it is Miller. She leaves the dish, and then the shot is blocked. And that might have been Halverson, who just entered the game, who was at least there and might have been the blocker.
Well, and again, you see Regina just wasting no time. They're not going to mess around in the half-court set, taking everything right at the rim so far. Maquoketa Valley's weathered that storm nicely.
You got a bunch of those today?
I got a lot of weather. I was looking them up last night, trying to figure out how many weather references I could make today. Weather references and sock hop references.
There you go. It's getting frosty in here. 5 on the shot clock. Going in is Richter. Shot is blocked by Klein. The sophomore gets a paw on it. Up ahead is Addie McLaughlin. Shot no good by Ella McLaughlin. And here come the Wildcats.
Well, I think Regina's getting the looks they want. They just haven't been able to finish so far.
Ronabaum's floater is good. First field goal of the game comes at 5:46. 3-0 Maquoketa Valley. Up ahead, and an and one coming as Ella McLaughlin is fouled.
I'm not so sure you're going to see this pressure from Maquoketa Valley a whole lot longer because Regina has handled it very well getting up the court. They've taken some quick shots, but that time that's enough to make you second guess running that man-to-man full court pressure.
Because normally when a team runs all the time, pressure doesn't faze them. In fact, they almost welcome it, don't they?
Well, I think the point right now is maybe slow up some of that tempo, but Regina just keeps attacking and getting some of the looks that they want.
5:47 to play. 3 is our score. 3 up. Wildcats a little harder time getting clean passes so far against this Regina team. Step back 3 is going to be short. Might have been tipped a little bit. Wildcats there for the board.
Yeah, Addie McLaughlin got a big chunk of that one.
Ronabaum's 3 is good.
Ronabaum looking very smooth early on for the Wildcats, and we mentioned in the pregame she averages just under 13 points a game, already today with 5.
3 on the way. Miller answers. Morgan Miller, the future Truman State player, hits the bucket to tie it back at 6.
The only negative of this nice new court we've got right now is we can no longer say from NBA range because we used to have those lines on the court. That definitely would have been out there.
Kick again to Ronabaum. Now it's Riker at the elbow. Sets the screen, the roll, the cut, almost score by Burbage, and then the putback is there by Burbage. She really played a little street ball, picked a pocket, stole a bucket.
Just took it right away.
To the rack, and the score is Ella McLaughlin. If you think it's going to be just a sleepy, slow morning in here, you are mistaken.
That's the on-ball defense right now that the Wildcats are going to have to clean things up because you see they are just able to continue to get to the basket, and it's not even anything in the half-court set. It's just the guards, or not even the guards, whoever's got the ball, putting their head down, taking it all the way to the hole, and a couple different opportunities here for three-point plays early on.
Another IMT Insurance substitution. And the free throw rattles out, and the rebound is collected by Leah Riker, who had just picked up the personal. Tied at 8. We've been tied at 3, 6, and 8. I kind of get a pattern here of what we're going to see the rest of the morning.
Riker brings a little more height in for Maquoketa Valley at 6 foot tall. Maquoketa Valley has that height advantage at the moment. Another reason for Regina to get out there and run.
Burbage gets it back. The clock did not reset. Shot clock at 10. Burbage is stripped in the middle of the lane by Regina, and the Regals have it. Here comes the tempo. And a little too much mustard there for CUNY to handle, and it's out of bounds turnover.
Addie McLaughlin, the freshman, gets the steal on the one end and then just pushing the tempo, gets it all the way down to the other end. You mentioned just a little too much on that pass, but she is looking to make things happen for the Regals.
Burbage to walk it up, tied at 8, 3:40 to play, first quarter. Inside they go back door, and just a little too much for Ronabaum to go over that defense, and it'll be a turnover.
Well, and it's the right idea there, just the execution, a little bit too much on the pass, but there's no help defense back there if they can get that into Ronabaum.
Nice move, kick to the corner. Now back up Miller, 3 on the way, no good. And fighting for the loose ball, and CUNY gets it, and then she's tied up, but somehow gets it back to Miller, and a fresh 35. Miller drives and scores. Making it look easy so far is Morgan Miller, already with 5.
Maquoketa Valley just extending their defense so much right now that at some point you might just have to back off a little bit and make them shoot from the outside.
Steal by Miller. She goes the other way with the left-hander and lays it in. Just like that, it's a 4-0 run by Regina to make it 12-8.
This is why Mac Valley wanted to get this into more of a half-court game.
Now Burbage. Knipper. Riker trying to make some position down there on the block. They finally get it into her. Turn, shoot, scores.
Multiple times you could hear from the Maquoketa Valley sideline, get it to her, get it to her, get it to her. Riker was working very hard to get that positioning down low.
McLaughlin. The shot by Ella is short after she got the pass from Addie.
And that's a much better defensive position, even defensive possession for Maquoketa Valley. They didn't go out and overplay everything, and it kept the Regals away from the basket. They really want to get that ball down low right now. Not quite at this level.
So you saw in the cut right there, it looks like Regina did do a little bit of sag off on that to prevent that backdoor entry. We got a foul out front.
I really love the motion right now that Maquoketa Valley is using in their offense. There's no one standing still ever. Seems like these girls are really all in sync with each other, able to know where the next player is going to be before the ball's even thrown.
Another substitution. Learn how you can be worry-free at imtins.com. A lot of movement, entry, and Miller there and just absolutely picked the pocket of Richter.
That may be a little bit of an adjustment right now because we've seen Maquoketa Valley have a concerted effort to get in the post with no help. So when you see Miller dropping down on the double, trying to create a little pressure down there on the post players, not making it as easy on them.
Looking for Richter down low. They go back to her. Burbage gets behind and misses. Rebound, Klein, and a foul. No, timeout.
Timeout.
30-second variety with 1:24 here to go, first quarter. Here at the tournament today, it has been, we knew Sunday night, the conversation from the girls' union to the teams was, we were going to play. Get here or you don't play. And I already see Hinton is here, and I think I see another team here. So the squads are in the stands.
Yeah, and we've known about this blizzard coming for quite a while. This has been pinpointed since last week, and you know the legend of the girls' state tournament that there'll be a blizzard, even though it happens 15-20% of the time maybe that we even get snow during the girls' state tournament. But of course, the great story of the sock hop and Frosty Westering back in the day at Veterans Memorial Auditorium. But we thought maybe we might have to spin some tunes here today, Paul, depending on who could get here.
Well, Vince Rubino was here. He's our in-house DJ, and once Vince was here, we knew we could have a party.
Plus, I don't think they wanted to listen to what was on my Pandora station.
Top of the key. Shot no good by Martin. And the Wildcats force the Regals one and out. Under a minute to play in the quarter. Here Coach Monk say, go get it, Bianca, in this venue, and then that's a missed pass, and it's going to go back to Maquoketa Valley. Not as many inside the arena, so we're going to hear a little more than normal today.
Which, yeah. This year, I've had a chance a couple times to be in pretty empty arenas doing a game, and you learn a lot as a guy calling the game because you hear all the coaching points that go on throughout. Wrestling's a big one this year that I've been able to learn a lot about the sport as I hear what's going on.
Nice drive to the basket and then kick by McLaughlin and a score. I think that was Klein. I was blocked from that. It was Klein with the 2. So now it's a 4-point advantage, and the Wildcats are going to hold for 1. Knipper, now Richter. Holds it, looks for a cut from Burbridge, now gets some help from Ronabaum. Turns, shoots the 3, misses, and it's going to be a foul underneath. We're going to go the other way because it's going to be on Maquoketa Valley's Jada Knipper.
Just the 3rd team foul of the half, or of the quarter, on Mac Valley, and the chance to get the last bucket. We've seen a lot of putbacks, a lot of late quarter buckets here, with Regina getting one more chance here in the first quarter.
Miller drives with 5 seconds. The runner won't go. Klein crashes. 2 seconds. 1. The heave at the end of the horn falls short. We've played a great first quarter. Iowa City Regina by 4 over Maquoketa Valley. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
It's Frank. Frank. Mr. Frank. And just what you did now, I think you're the best ever.
In your neighborhood, there's a place so good. It's so nice to be at a store meant for me. The feeling of family, you have to agree.
Wow, thanks, Fairway Frank.
Welcome to Fairway, your Fairway family.
Across Iowa, hundreds of neighborhood banks are providing jobs, supporting businesses, and strengthening our communities. Here, success is built by you, and the life you build is backed by Iowa Banks. See what we mean at iowabankers.com. Maquoketa Valley from Delhi, Iowa, just off Highway 20 between Dubuque and Waterloo. Iowa City Regina out of Iowa City. These two teams are basically straight north and south of each other. Mac Valley just a little bit there to the east.
Well, I feel like we got to give Hopkinton and Earlville their due as well as we talk about Mac Valley.
Earlville, I played at some junior high basketball there back in the day. Ronabaum with the turnaround bucket and cuts the lead to 2. Used to have a restraining line in that gym. You've played in a few of those.
I've had many opportunities to play in those gyms where you couldn't even take the ball fully out of bounds.
Nice drive and runner by McLaughlin falls long. And Martin, the board for Regina. For Mac Valley, they push tempo. Ball doesn't even touch the court. Richter puts it in, and we're tied at 14.
That's exactly the drill that you draw up when you're running the 3-on-2 fast break. Ball never touches the ground, like you said. Able to finish up with an easy layup for Richter.
McLaughlin drives the floater good. Addie, the freshman, her first bucket of the game. She scored 400 points in her first season. She had 26 points in her varsity debut here at State. She has her first 2 for the first score for the Regals in the second quarter.
Just the ease that she handles the ball with is very impressive.
Richter with the shooter's touch. She has 4 this quarter, and we're tied at 16.
That's a role you'd expect in your own gym, not down at the state tournament.
I heard a coach say the other night, these rims are loose or soft, I think was what it was referred to.
They kind of have that carnival feel to them. You see when they hit them, they've got quite a bit of give to them.
Catch, shoot, and miss by Knipper, and the Wildcats are going to get another chance, and they connect. Bianca Ronabaum now with 10, 2 threes on the game. The senior, very talented. Coach says she can hurt in a lot of ways. That's one way to do it.
Well, and missing the 3 is what led to that opportunity, because you miss the 3, but you get the long rebound. It gives you some open looks, forces Regina to transition in their defense.
Addie McLaughlin is stuck, goes into Martin. She kicks it back out, and Regina resets. Now a drive by Ella McLaughlin, and she scores.
It's interesting right now because Morgan Miller is standing out about 25 feet away from the basket. You know, averaging, the leading scorer, averaging over 20 points a game for Regina. They're face guarding her, so she's content right now to just turn this into a 4-on-4 game. She's just hanging out. That's the look right there. That's exactly the look with no help on the backside.
Ronabaum did a drill. She shot it, she rebounded it, she put it back up and scored. 21-18. Maquoketa Valley gets the lead back, and we've got a foul underneath as Ella McLaughlin was driving, and she was fouled on her way to the basket and in the act of shooting.
I just think Regina's going to have to make an adjustment on defense and focus on getting an extra body down in the post right now because Maquoketa Valley, that's where they are getting their advantage.
Lanny Beeman whistled for the personal. Here's a look at that replay and the drive by McLaughlin. So early on we saw Regina kind of attack that defense, the drive and kick. That's really become, a common defensive play or offensive play against defenses. What are they trying to do there?
Well, they're pressuring the defensive look for the Wildcats is to pressure everything out. So you get by one of them, you're creating numbers 5-on-4 right away, and really more 4-on-3 with the way that they're covering Miller. So it gives you a really nice look on the offensive end.
Burbridge to the rescue, top. Now it's Ronabaum. Her three is off the weak side rebound for Beeman off that shot.
Mac Valley getting some really good looks in the half-court set. That's a great shot for them.
Audra Burbridge is everywhere. Every time you look, it's like she has the ball every other pass. This offense clearly running through her. She's battling down low, but they can't find her. Now Burbridge again, top of the key. Shot clock at 15 on this possession. To the corner, they kick Beeman, three. No good, tipped into the hands of Morgan Miller. She gets it up to Addie McLaughlin, who puts it in. And guess what? We're tied.
Transition once again, just get it out there to McLaughlin, let her run. And, it starts with Miller getting that long rebound, and before you know it, back the other way, and doesn't get much easier than that for the Regals.
Coach Monk, good look at him right in there. His assistants, Allie Sherman, Brad Huber, Jesse Wooten. And if you're watching the finals on Friday and Saturday night, we'd be hearing Coach Monk as we will have the officials on Iowa PBS mic'd up. Friday night, our halftime or our pregame show begins at 5:30 with the 5A and 3A championships as there's the lead out to Addie McLaughlin.
Well, it starts off, Mac Valley's got a few opportunities on the offensive rebounding end of things, but right there you see them go after it. That's why the run out happens, though, because everybody's going after the offensive rebound. I think that's probably one of the reasons for Coach Monk's timeout is a couple of those girls, we don't need the offensive rebounds anymore. He wants to get them back on the defensive end because that's where Regina is making their hay.
And Coach Monk, we talked about it in the open. They're a great defensive team. But sometimes you have to remind, the look was there, the pass just got tipped, and the shot no good by Ronabaum. Here comes Regina, tipped away by, you guessed it, Audra Burbridge now doing it on defense.
Like you mentioned, she's everywhere on the floor, but you saw right away as soon as that steal happened, Wildcats immediately down to the other end of the floor, trying to slow up, force Regina to play in the half court.
Regals inbounded, get it to Miller. Nice cut. McLaughlin goes off the foot of Beeman. And the Wildcat faithful, diehards who are here, didn't agree with that.
Good crowd, actually, from both teams. Pleasantly surprised this morning with the blizzard going on outside. Means a lot of people planned ahead to get here overnight.
Klein with it, waits for some help, doesn't even look to shoot it. Gets it to Miller. It sets the screen for Miller, the scoop, and no shot, fouled on the floor, which means it'll go and be another out-of-bounds play, as that's only the third team foul on Maquoketa Valley.
Klein had the ball, but everybody on the bench for Maquoketa Valley was yelling about where Miller was. They were pointing her out everywhere that she cut, and as soon as she got the ball, she had two defenders on her. The athleticism, the suaviness, just to cut her way through there. Very talented player.
Richter into the game on an IMTINS.com substitution. Cuny with it. Now Klein. Waits for McLaughlin. 15-foot baseline shot long. Rebound CUNY, ripped away Burbridge. And now she's going to push it. Looks for some running buddies. 3-on-2, Burbridge to the rack on the layup. Too strong, tipped out of bounds. Burbridge gets it again. She'll pull the trigger on the three and miss the front of the iron. And CUNY rips it away for Regina.
A lot of looks for Mac Valley.
McLaughlin drives in, looks for some help, finds CUNY. 3 minutes to go in the half. Miller drives, pulls up, 6-footer, good.
There's 3 defenders around her. She's still able to slice her way through and hit that little floater. Just has some wiggle to her, like a tailback, find her way through the holes.
Regina takes a 2-point lead. Into Richter. Post move left is no good. Gets her own rebound. Goes and a reset Beeman 3. Good.
Coming off the offensive rebound again, creating some more opportunities for Maquoketa Valley. They continue to do it. They've got, on the day, they've got 6 offensive rebounds so far. Create a lot of second chance opportunities. Out-rebounding 17-9 are the Wildcats.
Klein goes over after the pass, finds a spot, see if she sets a screen on this one to see if they can get Miller open. Now it's stolen away by Burbridge. She's got a breakaway layup, and she converts.
Like you mentioned, Burbridge just everywhere. She's got 5 points is all, but she's constantly pestering everything on the defensive end, keeping balls alive on the offensive end.
Klein on the left block. Post down. Turnaround shot to no good. Rebound Wildcats.
Who else?
Burbridge, look at her go. Too strong. Klein rips it away. Now we have some tempo. McLaughlin to the rack and score.
That's a major college move right there. She put the ball on her hip, kept it away from the defender, crossed over the hoop and went to the right hand, and strong, threw a little bit of a contact and going up soft then after the strong move.
Richter swings it now to Burbridge. Top of the key, Ronabom. Beeman hit the last 3 and rattles around this one. Put back and score and a foul.
Another second chance opportunity for Maquoketa Valley. That time coming through with it was Halverson. Using some of this height advantage that they have overall, but also just right now the Regals kind of not anywhere to be found on the defensive side of the glass. Maquoketa Valley taking full advantage of that.
Halverson at the line, Alexis the senior. She's going to attend Nick to major in nursing. Great rebounders. Coach says she has a nose for the ball and plays with heart. Always need good players like there, you bet.
You notice how Maquoketa Valley now is sagging off everybody but Miller, and Miller takes advantage of it right away, but the defense is kind of hanging back more now and protecting that rim.
And Richter was right in the center of that defense in the black jerseys and got the rebound. Maquoketa Valley looking to extend their 3-point lead in the final 30 seconds of the half.
I think they're going to hold for one here as well, even though there's just about a full second differential. The clock won't stop, so they're going to be content to take at least a 3-point lead, maybe more into the halftime break.
Who has it but Burbridge, the freshman. So it's been the 2 freshmen, Burbridge and Addie McLaughlin, that have been the highlights of this contest. 6 on the shot clock, 5. Burbridge is a little bit of contact, plays through it. They go up ahead. Here at the buzzer, the shot good. If it goes, it is! A bucket and a 3, and we're going to go in tied at 28.
The freshman McLaughlin, just headiness, knowing exactly what she can get away with there, had to pull up and shoot it right there at the very end, and no doubt about it, that shot was good.
Here's a look at it again on the outrun. Catch, shoot, all in rhythm. That's how you do it, and it looks easy that way. There's another look at the replay from the slash cam. Pretty fun to see. All right, that is our halftime score. It is 28-28. So just wipe away the first half. We'll talk about the first half when we come back. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic and Digital Network, which is powered by Mid-American Energy. This is the 2A quarterfinal.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe it. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Freedom Tire is proud to support the Iowa Girl through their sponsorship of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. With 6 locations around the metro, you're never far from getting you back or keeping you on the road. Our certified staff and state-of-the-art technology means you can take comfort knowing you've got the best work at the best prices. Give us a try at Freedom Tire, a proud supporter of the IGHSAU.
Fuel choice that's cheaper, homegrown, and better for the planet? Now that's worth the hype. Pump it up with Unleaded 88.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Halftime, Maquoketa Valley and Iowa City Regina in this 2A quarterfinal, tied at 28. Quick look at some of the scoring for the Wildcats. 12 from Bianca Ronabaum, 5 from Audra Burbage, 4 from Grace Richter, 2 from Halverson and Riker. Beeman has a 3. For Regina, they've got 9 from Morgan Miller, 8 from Ella McLaughlin, 9 from Addie McLaughlin, including the 3 that sent us into the overtime break in Klein with 2. We were just handed stats. We'll recap those, take a look at them. But before you get a chance to peek at numbers, Andy, what stands out to you in that first half?
Well, I really like the adjustments that Maquoketa Valley made early on with getting everybody kind of back, trying to avoid more of those run-out opportunities for Regina. Really like what they've done in the half-court set right now. You know, this is a 7 seed against a 2 seed right now. It would be a big deal if Maquoketa Valley could pull this off, and seeing it right now at 28-28, I don't see the difference that you normally see in a 2-7 game, and it's been a really enjoyable game to watch.
Which gives us fodder that 2A's been pretty solid top to bottom, so we'll see how the rest of that plays out. All right, we will dive into the stats, break them down for you here, and tell you how you can look like some of the players here at the tournament. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, which is powered by Mid-American Energy Company.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy. Obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/wecare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Council Bluffs St. Albert against Dunkerton. That's the 1A game at 1:30. Algona, Bishop Garrigan, and Montezuma, North Lynn, Gladbrook, Rhinebeck. They'll play in both the girls and boys state tournament in the first round. And then Newell Fonda and Springville, two very familiar foes to one another. Maquoketa Valley is back out onto the court in black. Regina walking back out. They'll get their shots up. We'll get our game faces on the second half when we return. Halftime, tied at 28.
This game is heating up, folks. Frank squares up like a butcher block on defense. Audie with the fadeaway. She's on fire! Literally, that is. The net has been burned to a crisp.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
He's the prime cut passer from behind the meat counter. It's Fairway Frank. And introducing a 6'3" center who's a cut above the rest. Say hello to Audie Crooks.
Welcome back to the Girls State Tournament as we look to see if there's any news or anything out there, looking at road conditions, and it was pretty treacherous on I-80 West, I-80 East. Some of the Iowa City fans had trouble getting in here, but Andy?
35 North, not good either. North of Ankeny, not good up there. I saw earlier on the scanner pages they were calling for some buses to help haul some people, a lot of cars in the ditches there. So, yeah, it's why in today's day and age we're able to do what we do and be, I said, this is the closest I would be to an essential employee.
I was just glad everybody had stayed off the road today. It made it getting in here a little bit easier. Thank you to everyone who worked overnight to get those roads as they continue to work during the day as Maquoketa Valley comes out. All right, one thing I didn't do the math when we put the graphics up before. Maquoketa Valley out-rebounded Regina by 10 in that first half. You had talked about some of the defensive adjustments, so now it becomes the chess match. What does Regina do to counter that move?
Well, I think part of that is Maquoketa Valley's put up a few threes. Some of those long rebounds have come to them, but you just got to focus on getting a body. They want to get everybody out and running right now. You got to get the rebounds first, secure the rebounds first before you go out and run. So I think that emphasis, getting that taken care of first before you go run. There's a way it has to happen. You can't run before you get that rebound.
Can't run, got to walk before you can run. Is that?
I was avoiding trying to say that because I knew that's where it was headed. But
Regina will send out their starting five, which is Miller, Martin, McLaughlin, and Klein, and the Wildcats do the same. Beeman, Burbage, Ronabaum, Knipper, and Richter. Quarter three ready to go, and now underway. Early on, it is Martin with the basketball. Now McLaughlin, top of the key. Drives into the right baseline, now behind her back, goes back with Martin.
I would expect we will hear a lot about Morgan Miller. I have a feeling you're going to hear her name a lot here in this second half for Regina. It was a quiet 9 that she had in the first half. 2 fouls slowed her down a little bit, but I think we're going to see her have a big second half for the Regals.
To me, the quiet was Ronabaum's 12. I mean,
she had a bunch right away. She had 7 almost immediately.
And hit a couple of threes, and those were big, and now it's a turnover back to Regina. It will go. Now Morgan Martin, or there's Caitlin Martin right there. She's a 2-year starter. She plays her role, just can defend anybody that they need. She does what it takes to win, and again, those are players that you need on your squad to advance this late in the year.
These are 2 teams that have a lot of wins between the 2 of them this year.
Morgan Miller, she's headed to Truman State. Now goes to Klein, who's still learning that post position with every game. Now she's getting to be a good rebounder as well, and she's going to get a chance for some free throws.
No, I called her tied up. So
they did a held ball.
Jump ball, yeah.
She's just a sophomore.
We'll see if they stay spread out or see if any adjustments being made from Regina on defense here.
In they go to Richter on Klein. Turn around, hard shot, no good. Klein tips it right into the hands of Miller, who now runs past a couple of black jerseys, kicks to the left to McLaughlin. Now the freshman pulls. Good rebound by Regina and a block by Richter.
Grace Richter having a really nice game in the post for the Wildcats right now. She seems to be disruptive, getting a lot of rebounds as well.
Beeman with it now into Knipper. Richter waits for help, and it's Burbridge. She uses the screen. She'll take the screen, lose it, and now kick it. 8 on the shot clock. Drive by Ronabom. She's blocked by Klein. Kick to the corner. They got to shoot in a hurry. 4, 3. Hits the iron. Graces the iron just a little bit, but Miller there for the good weak side rebound. McLaughlin blows by her defender. Kicks to Klein, who's just standing there. Gets her own rebound, and this time she's fouled.
Look at some of the youth here on this Regina team. You talked about Klein being a sophomore and McLaughlin, the freshman, getting a lot of opportunities here between the two of them. A couple other seniors with Ella McLaughlin and Morgan Miller, but right now just so impressed watching Addie McLaughlin run this offense, especially in the face of defensively what Maquoketa Valley has tried to do to Morgan Miller to take her out of the game.
There's the putback drill that you get, and there's where the contact came from Ronabom. Second free throw is no good, and the rebound is Grace Richter.
Seems like it's been a while since Regina's had a lead.
Only have to win by 1. I think Norwalk proved that. North Polk proved that yesterday.
Yeah, there's some fun games yesterday afternoon. Wow.
Burbridge. Into Richter. Shot off the mark, gets her own board. Shot clock now in single digits at 5. Shot on the way, no good by Beeman. Rebound, Morgan Miller. She's everywhere in this half. We got some contact out at the free throw line, so it's 4-on-4 for a little while, and it's going to be a rebound for Richter, and then it's held as Addie McLaughlin says her bad.
I think it's the right call out there. A lot of contact, but it was all incidental as you saw Miller get tied up and go down. I don't think there's a foul that you'd have to call in that situation. Didn't really affect the play or anywhere around the basketball.
Miller dials from long distance. Her second 3 of the game, now at 12.
Well, there you see Miller. It's one of the few times that she's been left open. And, the disadvantage when you're a defensive team like Maquoketa Valley, now you're opposite. You're trying to coach up your defense, and now that defensive side is on the opposite end of the floor. And so you're trying to coach up that defense and identify the shooters from the bench. A lot more pressure on your players to ID where those shooters are coming from.
Burbridge's 3 is no good, and Regina now with it and a 4-point lead looking to extend it. Miller backs it back out. She gets Ronabom to come with her. High screen. Miller drives in, kicks, Klein. Waits for McLaughlin. Now again, top the key, Ella, the 3, good.
Interesting timeout after a couple threes. It's Regina calling the timeout right now, full timeout.
At the 4:06 mark, Regina up 35-28 on the 3, and point number 11 for Ella McLaughlin. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Unit Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Regina has been the only scorers in this third quarter. As you look at the Regals breaking the huddle, we were tied at 28 at the break on a 3 by Addie McLaughlin, and that might just be one of those difference makers that set the tone that we'll go back and look at in the post game. But right now, we still have 4:06 to play here in the third quarter.
That was interesting. Regina called the timeout, so I was wondering if they're going to make some adjustment here defensively, because they just went on they were on a 7-0 run this quarter.
And it's one and done for the Wildcats.
Didn't notice anything incredibly different there, but
McLaughlin kicks to the corner to her sister, who dials it straight through the net. She now has 14. Ella has been huge, and just like that, the lead is 10.
But I'm just so impressed with what Addie McLaughlin has done running this offense with Miller I'm not going to say out of it. Miller's got 12, but Miller has been kind of taken out with that face guarding that Maquoketa Valley is doing, but showing all the weapons that Regina's got.
And now Maquoketa Valley attacks. Ronabom is fouled. You know, how many times have you seen it, Andy, where a team comes out? Usually it's the first half, not the second half, where they go back and they'll shoot the ball. They won't attack the rim. Right there, the Wildcats just haven't had good offensive possessions, and there they finally attack, and they get a chance to cut into this lead with the clock stopped. They score their first point of the half on a Bianca Ronabom free throw. She now has 13, which is her season average.
Yeah, their shooting has cooled off. They were over 40% in the first half, and they're down in the 30s right now over the first almost 5 minutes now of the third quarter. And that time is ticking down fast. There's been a great tempo with only one foul called on each team here in this quarter so far. It's flying by.
Ronabom ends the 10-0 run with 2 free throws.
How good has Addie McLaughlin been just pushing the tempo, doing everything that Mary Rogers wants her to do today?
Ella drives in, kicks it to Klein. Left-hander, no good. 2 Wildcats there. One of them is Ronabom, who pushes it. 3-on-2. She'll take it to the left side, and she's going to get a chance for a 3-point play.
Well, just like that, out of the timeout, it's been a little run going on for the Wildcats, and that time it's interesting because we've got Ronabom, who will probably follow Morgan Miller back out to the bus. I mean, she has been in her face all day long, and she gets a chance to go right back at Miller, and that gets Miller, that'll give a chance for Ronabom to relax a little bit because that'll put Miller on the bench with her 3rd foul.
Ronabom hits it now with 17. We have a substitution from IMT INS. Be worry-free with IMT INS and IMT Insurance.
So now this changes your defensive strategy. This, having an extra scorer on the bench allows Maquoketa Valley to focus more of their efforts on Ella McLaughlin. See if they give Ronabom a break defensively.
We're at the table adjusting about who came in, who's supposed to be in.
Or find out who called for who to go in. They're talking with a bench official right now as well. Because the foul was on Morgan Miller, and that was her 3rd, and she was the one that came out.
Because she had 2.
Oh, they're now Maquoketa Valley's going to slap on the pressure.
Sometimes we get an explanation.
I think they said that Adelie Klein checked in at the wrong spot.
Okay.
So now they are going to have Miller will be back in the game, but that caused Maquoketa Valley to call their press off. So we know what the strategy is with Miller out of the game right now.
So at the next whistle, Klein will be able to come into the game.
I think she needed to be checked in before the free throw, I think is what they were saying, and she was not. So now you're not going to see Miller drive right now because she can't risk picking up that 4th in what is still a tight ball game.
Into the corner, they go CUNY. Good move, spin, gets stuck. Oh, they go left side, and putting it in is Caitlin Martin.
Haven't seen much from Caitlin Martin today, and she's one of those players that's up in double figures as well. Just scored her first buck of the day. Hasn't had to so far.
Back to a 7-point lead. Burbridge to the left side, and she's fouled.
Well, you talked about on the last possession, I really like how the Wildcats just continue to attack the basket. And the fouls are now starting to mount up a little bit here for Regina.
And that is going to be the 2nd foul on Martin. And that'll send to the line Audra Burbridge with 7. A lot of the offense going through her in that first half, and she converts there. The freshman has 8. Talked about the 2 freshmen in this game, Audra Burbridge and Addie McLaughlin. Kind of fun to see when you have somebody in a class. You know these 2 have played each other at some point, whether it was in the AAU circuit or, when you're that close to each other geographically, it's pretty kind of fun to see. Here comes Regina breaking the press. CUNY stuck. McLaughlin there, right in front of Mary Rogers, who's a K-5 PE teacher in the Iowa City Public School District. Coaching here at Regina. McLaughlin drives. Tipped away, and who gets it but Burbridge.
Well, and that possession allowed Ronabom to focus their efforts on Ella McLaughlin.
Burbridge step back 15-footer, no good. Rebound comes out to Martin. And she'll push it 3-on-1. And miss on the conversion, and then we've got a foul, and it's going to be on Maquoketa Valley underneath.
Well, just dribbling right through everybody, no one able to stop the ball. As they had Martin just kind of push her way through everybody.
Back into the ball game is Morgan Miller.
Not for long on the bench. It just opens up so many more things for the Regals when she's on the floor right now.
Miller, a 4-year starter, 1,600 career points for the Regals. Knows where to go with the basketball. Klein at the left elbow. Turn around and shoot and miss. Tipped back to Regina by Maquoketa Valley.
Actually, it helped him out because with Klein shooting from that far away, it also kept Aaliyah Riker away from the basket so she couldn't be there to get the rebound.
Driving in is Martin. From the left side, banks it in.
That's a nice, soft touch off the glass for Martin. Finding that third scorer right now, or even fourth scorer for the Regals.
Back to a 6-point advantage for Regina. Ronabom turns and shoots the three, misses. Rebound comes to Halverson. Her shot no good. Put back up and scoring is Leah Riker.
Well, the offensive second chance opportunities continue to happen for the Wildcats. Good battle down low. They just keep crashing those boards.
14 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Regina by 4. 6 seconds. McLaughlin way out. That's going to miss the mark, go out of bounds. And it'll finally be blown dead at 1.9. Substitution in. Knipper comes back on an IMTINS.com substitution. Be worry-free.
Time for one dribble and a shot.
And they go Burbridge, and she's just not even going to heave it. Regina did enough to keep the pressure on. So Regina scored the last 3 to tie it at half. Now go to the fourth by 4.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Something exciting is growing on Iowa farms these days. Innovation. From tractors that seed, weed, and harvest with data-driven precision to drones that scout or plant cover crops to protect soil and water. Even our animals live in smart homes with round-the-clock care. Technology keeps your food safer, water cleaner, and makes us more sustainable. Because what we do here benefits everyone here. Life on the farm makes everyone's life better.
Bianca Ronabom has 17 for Maquoketa Valley, but the problem is Ella McLaughlin has 14 and Morgan Miller has 12. It was a good third quarter for the Regals. They outscore Mac Valley by 4, 14-10. We have a 42-38 game, and we have 8 minutes to play. Andy Pollock, Paul Yeager with you from the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Basketball Tournament. Wednesday, day 3, Class 2A, quarterfinal. So far, so good, Mr. Pollock.
Good balance from Regina. Really good balance as they've got 2 players in double figures and a third of that in McLaughlin with 9.
In goes now Burbridge after the pass to Ronabom. They go back inside and a miss. Crashing the board hard was Halverson. And the putback and score is Riker.
You mentioned it before, Halverson with just a nose for the basketball is what her coach Monk had said, and does it again there. Gets an assist out of the save.
Left side McLaughlin, now back up Miller. Into the corner, the freshman. Or that's the senior, Ella, sorry. She shoots the 3, front iron, no good. Rebound, Wildcats, and she travels, and she was bumped by her own player down to the floor. Lost her balance.
Yeah, bumped by her own player, and then I think was expecting even some more contact and didn't get it. Paul had mentioned it in the break, but really like the coaching job we've seen today out of Rogers and Monk, and just the adjustments that they've seen. Kind of a chess match going on out there. Not the full-on switching your defense between, man and zone and things like that, but just little nuances throughout the game have been really fun to witness here from the court side.
Knipper grabs the miss from Martin, and the Wildcats can tie it or take the lead on this possession as we're under 7 to play.
Set play here coming up for Maquoketa Valley.
Burbage drives, now kicks left side. Has Ronenbaum.
Took him out of it.
Burbage. Reverse and score.
Well, they took him out of the play. They were calling for him to get it set back up, and Burbage just turns herself around and realizes there's no one between me and the basket. She ties it up. What a match we've had so far.
She knew it the whole time. She had Klein, then used the rim as the defender to Klein, and just did a very acrobatic play. Saw a couple of those in the Williamsburg game yesterday.
So
in that first game.
Timeout here. Again, this was now a Maquoketa Valley timeout coming off the make. And so the 7 seed trying to pull the upset over the 2 seed, and we'll see what sort of adjustments here that Coach Scott Monk wants to make after the made bucket by Burbridge. So Burbridge and Ronenbaum, been carrying the load right now, but everybody else has known their role for Maquoketa Valley. You just see everybody's just doing what they're supposed to be doing out there.
Our last tie was at 28. We have a new tie at 42. 6.5 to play. Addie McLaughlin now to Morgan Miller from the left wing. Cross card over the defense.
It wasn't that long ago that Regina led by 10.
Miller launches the 3. Rolls out. Grabbed by Riker. This time she gets to her defender, or her teammate, and away from the defender. Burbridge at the logo, now Ronenbaum. Those two have been a very good combination so far. Halverson with it. Now Knipper trying to get it interior, poked away, still loose, and now we're going to have a foul.
Yeah, loose ball foul going to be called there on Riker as the kind of in the battle for the ball. She's reached out and grabbed a lot more regal than she did basketball.
Third charge to Leah, the senior. She's going to go to Iowa State. Riker is, and major in ag education. A lot of agriculture-themed future plans for these players.
Maybe a future guest on Market to Market.
You never know. Maybe a story at some point. Wildcats with the basketball trying to get the lead back. They have not led in quite some time. And it still won't be a lead for Maquoketa Valley.
It's a great look.
McLaughlin goes coast to coast, and Addie lays it in. The freshman now with 11.
That is not a freshman move right there for Addie McLaughlin. Not in the slightest. Again, crosses over. Just such a strong move with a soft finish.
Riker the entry pass. Now kick to the corner. Burbage lost it for a moment. Gets it back up to Knipper. And that's going to be an offensive foul, and that'll be a legal screen. Moving screen.
Did they get Riker? Leah Riker? Okay. She's kind of bullied her way. Not sure she was actually even trying to set the screen there, but just got very physical as she was moving her way into the lane. 4 on her.
Regina looks to open up on their 2-point lead here in this possession.
Little zone look for Maquoketa Valley here.
They go top to Martin. Kick back out. McLaughlin, 3, short. Ping pongs around.
Went off the head of Lexi Halverson.
Burbage drives. A little too strong at the rim. And again, Regals have it, and they have a run out. Here comes Ella McLaughlin, left side. It's blocked. Blocked by Jada Knipper.
Well, and that's the wrong call because she went and tipped the ball out of bounds again before it went out, and they gave the ball back to Regina. Oh, boy. Yeah, she pushed the ball off there, and they gave it back to Regina. Huge hustle play.
Miller, again, gets past the defender on the shake and bake move.
That stutter, wow, just froze the defense.
Regina now back to a 4-point lead, a timeout here with 4:12 to play in the fourth quarter. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Unit Digital Network. This is a 2A quarterfinal.
Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
4:12 to play. Iowa City Regina, 4-point lead. Regina this season, their only loss came to, Regina 23-1, and their only loss was an 80-34 game against Mount Vernon you talked about in the open. Maquoketa Valley, Andy, their only loss was to North Lynn and Monticello. North Lynn will be playing later today. Monticello lost on the road to state. So we get to these 1A, 2A games. These teams don't usually have a lot of losses.
And a lot of them who have played each other in conference play throughout the year, because those, outside of the CIML and the MVC, you end up having a lot of, in the Alliance Conference, you end up getting a lot of teams, a lot of cross-class conferences in there.
North Lynn and Maquoketa Valley, members of the Tri-Rivers. Regina on the steal, now on offense.
They've got the zone flooded.
Addie McLaughlin. She's the younger of the two sisters. Kicks. 8-foot baseline shot. Good. Martin.
McLaughlin's just taking over. And it's not going to show up as much on the points that she scored, although she's got 11. Just constantly creating opportunities for her teammates.
I think that was Addie's 7th assist on that play.
And she's a freshman. Just handles the ball so well.
Halverson pulls up 15-foot. Now Richter dribbles down on Klein, has it poked away by Miller. Miller on the run out on Burbridge. Goes to the right side of the rim and scores.
Savvy move there by Miller as she drove into Burbridge to get herself to the right side. And Burbridge was either going to have to foul her or let her shoot it, and gave up the bucket. And just like that, a 4-0 run for Regina opens things up here under 3 minutes to go.
Now you're down 8. You got to make maybe some different plays. Got to still just kind of take care of yourself. Good up move there by Ronabaum. She pulls up, a little strong. Rebound comes out. We're going to have a held ball, and it'll go back to Regina.
Once again around the basketball, though, is Lexi Halverson. She seems to be everywhere the basketball is. Right now it's a big defensive possession for Maquoketa Valley. I don't think they're going to be able to stay in their zone. I think they're going to have to extend things out a little bit more in the man-to-man, because you don't want to get under 2 and still be down by 8 points.
Riker back in with 4 fouls on the IMT Insurance substitution.
Well, they're still out here in their zone look.
Miller floats, kicks to Ella McLaughlin. Her 3 is off the mark, but chasing it down is Martin. So now the Regals will get a fresh 35 as we approach 2 minutes to play.
Yeah, I don't think they wanted the shot that early in the shot clock in that possession, but it pays off for them with the rebound.
Burbridge gets a hand in it. It's poked away and now stolen away. Here comes Knipper to the left side. She scores. Timeout. Maquoketa Valley. Jada Knipper's first 2. Coach calls her a leader on this team. Maybe that is just enough influence on her teammates to close this gap, which is now at 6 with 1:48 to play, Andy Pollard.
Well, there's a lot that has to go right for Maquoketa Valley to make a run to get back in this game, but I think you're going to see it start on the defensive end right now, and you don't want to pressure the Regals right now because of how well they can handle the ball, how well McLaughlin handles the ball, how well Miller handles the ball, but you're just going to have to, and at this point, you have to get – you're in an uncomfortable situation. You got to make some uncomfortable moves, and that's what they're going to have to do, and we'll see if it pays off for them.
We talked about it in the open. Maquoketa Valley hangs their hat on defense. But defense here on a running team is really hard to do when the opponent is Iowa City Regina.
And they're just, the one thing that'll be interesting, though, is what's Regina going to do if they break the press? Early in the game, it was you continue to take the ball to the bucket. Right now, what's more worth it to them, the time or the points? So we'll see how that works out. Also in the pregame, talked about how Maquoketa Valley gives up on average just over 30 points a game. Regina averages 70 points a game. They're right in the middle of that right now. Really, the averages are playing out with everybody.
And thank you for bringing that up, because when you look at stats, like some of these teams I hadn't had since maybe the first part of the season, and their stat lines for a lot of these teams were the same. Girl averages 8, she's at 8.4 now, and their shooting is the same. Your averages, you are who you are when you get to the state tournament. There's not a lot of surprises. Klein on the pass has it ripped away, and now it's going to be a held ball, and it's going to go back to Maquoketa Valley with 92 seconds left.
Well, I was surprised that Regina kept attacking the bucket there, not electing to take some more time off the clock, but that's who they are. They're going to continue to attack.
Richter in. Halverson goes out.
So offense for defense there, even though Halverson might give you a chance on the glass, you're not looking for offensive rebounds right now. You're looking for points immediately.
Maquoketa Valley looking up at a 6-point deficit here. Let's see what they run through. Usually it's going to go through Burbridge or Ronabaum. Right now it's going to be Richter launching deep and hitting. Or you do that. I'm done making predictions about what may or may not happen. But Andy, how many times in the years we've done games is it the player who you don't expect that comes up big?
That was the 4th three-pointer of the year that Grace Richter has hit right there, and what a huge time for her to do just that. Now she averages 10.8 points per game, Richter does, and today now she is sitting at 7, so she's approaching that. But just, she shoots 20% from three-point land, but you need big-time players, and you need players that maybe you're not expecting to make the plays to come step forward and do that right now at the state tournament. Trying to pull off this upset. Maquoketa Valley just keeps hanging around. Regina hasn't been able to bury him yet.
Regina on the season is a 70-point per game team. Andy talked about it in our last break. Even though they haven't gotten to 70, they've still been able to get their main players in the game and get them scoring. Ella McLaughlin has 14. Addie, her sister, has 11 with 7 assists. Morgan Miller has 16. So it's been who they are. So look for those 3 to be somehow involved here as Maquoketa Valley comes out with full court pressure.
Full court pressure, and they can be very aggressive going after steals right now, because they're going to have to be aggressive.
Foul sit at 2-0.
They only have 2, that's where they're going to have to be. You almost want to get to that point right now where you buy yourself at least an opportunity to foul at the free throw line later on.
Well, if you're
play it out now.
If you're Mac Valley right now, Andy, now you're under 15 on the shot clock. You just don't want to give up a bucket.
Correct. You're
too
playing
late
it out.
To foul.
They're pestering.
8 on the clock. Miller gets by, kicks it to the corner. 4 on the shot clock. McLaughlin, the runner, hits the front iron. Klein, the rebound. Put back up. She's fouled. And 2 shots coming. And a whole lot of clock just ran off.
Big time offensive rebound there for Adelie Klein. She goes to the free throw line now, just under 60% free throw shooter. Big couple free throws here for the sophomore.
Klein hit a free throw earlier. She's only a 59% free throw shooter. Back in is Richter. Out goes Halverson. Klein can make it a 2-possession game, and does.
They got the stop that they wanted, but Klein got that rebound, and that was a big couple free throws for her.
Burbridge goes to the corner for Beeman. 3, rattles around. Klein gets the board again, loose ball. This gets held up. It's going back to Regina, and it is a held ball.
Pile up down there in the lane, but shot was in and out. But now is where you do have to foul, and you've only had 3 so far, so you got to get a couple quick ones in and get Regina to the line.
So Addie McLaughlin right in the middle of that scrum, and now she's going to be fouled by Burbridge.
That's the right move. You got to do it quick. Got to do it again quickly right now. Try to extend this game.
Just a few seconds tick off, but every one of these 25.8 is valuable. And now we'll have the foul on Miller by Beeman.
And you know, it's not the one you want to foul, but that's who you have to foul at this situation.
Martin, a Miller, a 83% free throw shooter. Here's the thing about Morgan Miller. Remember that player named Mary Crompton who played for Regina? Morgan
Called several of her games.
Oh, several of her games here. She's actually passed Mary in scoring all time for the Regals. 1,600 points. She was on the All-State team last year as a junior for the 2A All-State team.
Headed that way again this year.
The way she's playing today now with 17 points.
Going to get her right up close to her average. And I really, really thought that Ronabaum did an outstanding job on her defensively today. But I think it also took Ronabaum kind of out of her offensive game. Even though she scored 17, it just didn't feel like she was around the ball as much. And that can wear you out chasing around the other team's best player the whole game.
Missed rebound. Door is left ever so slightly open, but the Wildcats have to go. Burbage drives in, and she is fouled, and that is only the first foul on Regina of this quarter. But it's going to be a shooting foul, so it doesn't matter.
They called it on Miller. That's her fourth. Not sure that matters with 14.7 seconds to go.
Burbage at the line, the freshman, had a really good first half. She's kind of been held in check here in the second. She's only had 5 points in this second half.
Well, she's been able to get to the basket, but really struggled finishing right now. And she's sitting at 4 for 16 shooting for the day. And again, a lot of those were looks, but that art of finishing at the hoop is key right now for the freshman.
Regina calls a timeout with 10.3 seconds. They'll have the basketball and a 6-point lead here.
Regina, you mentioned earlier, just no stranger to the state tournament. Looks like they're going to, barring a miracle here for Maquoketa Valley, they're going to come away here with their 10th trip and a win in their first round today.
Rogers in her 6th season of head coaching here at Regina and 6th overall. She crossed the 100 games won as a coach threshold this year. 3 years at state for the Regals under Coach Rogers.
And they're not getting the foul here, so that's going to do it.
That will be enough for Regina to run it out here in the final seconds. Regina moves on with a 53-47 win over Maquoketa Valley.
Nothing to hang your head about here for Maquoketa Valley. They gave the 2 seed everything they could handle today. Took an outstanding effort from the McLaughlin sisters, Miller. They made the 2 seed work for it for sure.
Ella McLaughlin, 14, the senior. The freshman Addie had 11, and Addie also had 7 assists. So that's huge for that young player. And then Morgan Miller with 17. And Regina lives to play another day. They'll move into the semifinals. And for Maquoketa Valley, they were led by Bianca Ronabaum, 17. Audra Burbage had 10. Riker had 6. Richter, 7. Beeman, 3. And that's how we end our scoring in this contest.
Fans, please direct your attention to the court for the awards presentation. In addition to receiving medallions, each participating player will receive a commemorative basketball provided by the Iowa Farm Bureau, proud title sponsor of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union. Presenting awards from the IGHSAU are basketball administrator Gary Ross and executive director Aaron Gerlich. Congratulations, head coach Scott Monk and the Wildcats from Maquoketa Valley on an outstanding basketball season. And now, Ella McLaughlin, advance your team to the next round in the official bracket at center court. Congratulations, Regals fans. Your team advances to the 2A semifinals. You will play Friday, March 7th at 11:45. Fans on behalf of the Iowa Girls High School.
So that semifinal is Friday morning, 11:45. They'll face the winner of Hinton and Rock Valley. Andy, during that PA right there, one thing popped into my mind. Let's go back to the final seconds of the first half. That really kind of changed this game.
That three-point shot that tied it up was huge. And again, the freshman just headsy play, had to pull up and shoot. In fact, that might have been it right there that we just saw in the replay. But yeah, just a great heads-up play by McLaughlin, and it was quite the day for that freshman and starting to turn a lot of heads and make a lot of people aware of her presence here at the state tournament.
The Regals move on, and so do we. That is how our first game of the day, 1 of 6, done, and done. For Andy Pollock and the rest of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union digital crew, I'm Paul Yeager saying thank you for watching. Stay warm, stay safe. Regina advances with a 53-47 win over Maquoketa Valley in Class 2A. So long from Wells